Okay, so right now we have a test of the game going. We can run this file and we see we can start, we can play. Um, there is sound, but it's kind of broken right now. It'll keep playing for a while if we destroy something, but and it plays multiple times too, that's weird. But we know sound works because we get a sound when we crash and when an explosion occurs. So that's pretty nice. And what makes this happen is inside of... I should have kept Game Manager up. Oh well. Inside of Game Manager, we import our audio engine. And right now, we're only sending two important functions. Or we're only making two important sends in display. So we're only doing this in the big loop. And if I can find them. We need to comment this out. This is actually not good. Uh, but right here is our first big send, and that's saying, hey, our player sprite collided with something. Fix that. And then the other one is a bullet hit something. We exploded. Something exploded. Send that. So that shows. And what's happening is I only have one function really happening right now, which is send message. Which all it does is it takes this root address, takes this info right here. We create a client. We said client connect to the server port. Right now, we have to manually change the server port every time we start the server, every time we start up a server in SuperCollider, because sometimes SuperCollider will go to 57121, but if you do it really quickly, sometimes it'll change to 57120, or the other way around. It starts on 120 and it'll go to 121 if you stop and start it too quickly. So we have to check that every time we start, but it's always going to be on localhost for me because it's running locally. But in send message, we send an address and data. If we don't have any data to send, don't worry about it. Make a message, and the address we're sending is whatever address that we have at the root, which is space game right now, and combined with whatever address is of the thing that happened. And for Game Manager, that's explosion. We're saying, hey, something exploded, and then the audio is saying, hey, in space game, something exploded. So what happens is this gets sent over to here. Highlight, because highlighting. Over to SuperCollider. And right now, there's not much happening in SuperCollider. But it's good. It's good enough right now. Some of this stuff doesn't mean anything. Like, SuperCollider isn't a file that's run. This is interpreted and stored on the server. So right now we're looking at the client view of what's happening. And that's really weird, but it's okay. All you gotta know that's happening is we have a function right here that creates the sound for the explosion. If we don't give it a pitch, it'll start at 200 hertz, and then it has these variables inside of it. It's going to use a sine oscillator, a sine wave, at whatever the pitch is. So it's going to be a sine wave at a default of 200 hertz, which, what is that? That's like a G. Yeah, it's like a G, a G2, G3. It's like a G3. And then mul 0.2 just changes the amplitude. It makes it softer because one is really loud and one's the default. Putting it at 0.2 lowers it to 20%. And then we have an env-gen linen. I don't know what that does yet. I know what this does. An env-gen control rate. So we're creating a new environment variable and we're saying, hey, base it on control rate. And whatever linen gives us, I think linen is it's a decay of some sort. And it's going to decay at a rate of linen. And then when it's done, it's just going to stop. It's going to quit. It's going to go away, and we're going to pipe our sound out. And this is what it sounds like, really. We're running and crash. And there's your noise. Our noise right now is going at a 110. 110 hertz is the default, but so this is the function. And what happens is the messages that are being sent right here from audio, right there, are coming into SuperCollider. And they're being caught in this. This says to SuperCollider, hey, listen, there's going to be something that's coming in. You should create a thing called an explosion listener. And what you're going to do is you are going to wait for a message with this address, with /spacegame/explosion, to come in, and then when you get it, you're gonna run the synth. And the synth is, you can't see, explosion, and that's the name of our synth up here. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna wait till it receives a message with this address, and then it's gonna run this synth with this parameter pitch at 110. That's 110 hertz. That's a low A. That's like, what is it? A2. And then it plays, and then it goes through and it plays that sound, and I have to get it set up correctly so it dies and doesn't last forever, because that's the problem we're having right now. Is we go and we shoot and they last forever, as you can hear. And that's just annoying. So we gotta figure that out. But otherwise, yeah, that's where we're at right now.